going into more of your history and just how you became you. Last year, you spent some time at the New Japan Dojo out in California. What was that experience like for you?
I smile every time I think about it. It was some of the hardest work I've ever done, the most structured work I've ever done in terms of training, and, well, I loved it out there. The air in Cali is different. In California, it's just, everybody is for each other. I feel like when I went out there, it felt like everybody was working together to push each other up.
Okay.
It wasn't a mountain that we're all individually climbing. We're all tied to the same rope, pulling each other up. That's what it felt like out there. And when we were in the dojo working hard, sometimes, you feel your body crumbling, but then it's like this adrenaline. Like, yeah, I'm dying, but I'm awake. It felt amazing. And then to be able to be on, the New Japan Academy showcase, oh man, I was in the New Japan ring.
Right.
And even if it's just the academy, it's the dojo showcase, it's not actually Japan itself, but I was in there, part of their company. One of the biggest wrestling companies in the world. And I got a win. Yeah. It was amazing.
Yeah. What would you say you learned about yourself while training there?
Honestly, I learned that I'm better than I think I am. Before I went out to Cali, I was part of Battle Royals, and I never really got a spot on the LPW card. And I put that on myself. Because at the end of the day, sure, somebody can look at you and go, okay, yeah, you're good. Let's put you in a match and see how good you are. But if you're not showcasing that in training every day, showcasing that you're showing progression, then why would they look at you? Why would they pick you to be in a match? So when I went out in California, I learned that I had more in me. That I wasn't just some guy in a battle royal, some face. I can be something.
What are some of the lessons, either in the ring or outside the ring, that you took away from the dojo?
Honestly, with the dojo, it took me back into my folk style wrestling days. Because in high school, I did folk style wrestling. So they were really keen in New Japan Dojo on what they call natural wrestling, which is essentially looking into the idea of very deep stances, grappling hard, strong, keeping the cardio up. And they were deep into like the idea of like these techniques that were very similar to folk style wrestling. Even we had Kushida come in, who he did, I believe, freestyle wrestling before his pro wrestling days.
Okay. And
he was showing us techniques from his freestyle days and how he incorporates that into pro wrestling and into different like holds and stuff like that. And that made me feel like, okay, I already have this background. I need to dive deeper into that.
Kushida, he's like one of the greatest juniors of all time.
Yes.
Like, what was it like learning from him?
It was amazing. He was very kind, respectful, and he, like, it was honestly very star-striking, but it was like also down to earth in the sense of, yeah, I'm here, and I meant to be here, and we got a lot of compliments from him, and he got to like he watched us wrestle, and he liked what we do, so it was fun. It was awesome. It was awesome to be able to train under Kushida for a few months.
In terms of the growth that you felt before, right, and then after the program, what do you say were the skills you picked up on the most?
So before going to New Japan Dojo, it was a lot of cardio, right?
Okay.
Amazing Red always teaches the idea of thinking on your feet, right? Of reacting rather than acting, right?
Okay.
It's the idea of, okay, this guy's gonna be doing all this stuff. You gotta be able to stay on the same page as him, right? If you want to like overcome somebody who's fast, who's strong, you have to be faster. You have to be strong. You have to know what it is to be that, you know?
Right.
And he was deep into the idea of the basics, fundamentals, and really knowing how to like tighten up your techniques and stuff like that. And he was also big on physique and stuff like that as well. Okay. So it was very all round in the initial years of House of Glory before I went to the New Japan Dojo. Now, when I went to the New Japan Dojo, it was like taking those skills and taking them to 100, but like also breaking it down one by one. Because in House of Glory, it's very speedy. You know, we're trained by an amazing Red, of course. You know, this guy speak into the crowd. You know,
great.
So it's like he's a high fly guy. He's a guy that is very blitz. New Japan was very strong base. It was like, how do I compare this? Like New Japan's a gorilla, and House of Glory, it's like a cheetah. You know, both very powerful creatures, but they have their own strengths.
Right.